Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanu Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiritam kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam bhuvi grinanti ye bhurida janaha. Let we be protected, let we be nourished. Let we strive with energy and vigor. Let our study be enlightening and not give rise to austerity. Om, peace, peace, peace. Your nectar-like words and warm and inspiring life stories, eulogized by learned sages, are indeed eradicator of shoots of ignorance. These are auspicious to hear and propitious to inculcate in one's own life. Those who take these words to the world are indeed great benefactor of the world. We are studying Sri Sarada Devi and her divine play. We see in mother's life a combination of detachment and also involvement. It is said that one should be detached. Asanga shastrena dridhena chitva. Gita says that one should be detached. In this world, various situations come. In those situations, if we are entangled, then suffering will follow. In mother's life, we can see Radhu, one character, where mother was so infatuated, as it were. But actually it is to just keep her attention to this world so that the body is kept. And when she realized that now the time is over, she should not engage in this world anymore, she totally withdrew herself. In our day-to-day life, what we face many difficult situations. So we have, Yoga Sutra says we have 4 situations and there are 4 corrective measures. One is Maitri, Karuna, Mudita Upekshanam, Sukha, Dukkha, Punya, Punya, Bhavanata, Chitta Prasadana. So Sukha, Dukkha. Sometimes we are faced with some happy faces, like our neighborhood, somebody is doing very good. So, and sometimes not very good. They are maybe indulging in something which is not good. Sometimes we see one is, so Maitri, Sukha Dukkha, somebody is in a happy state. Somebody is in a not happy state, maybe suffering. And what happens if never, sometimes people feel jealous about it. But the Yoga Sutra says that one should feel friendship with such a person. So Maitri means friendship. Karuna, if someone is suffering, one should have compassion. Feeling fellow feeling. So Karuna, compassion. Also, say sharing and caring. Mudita upakshana, when somebody is doing good, so one should be very glad, happy. and upeksha, when something is happening and uh, you cannot solve it. Say somebody is beating someone, but you are not a cop. Therefore, you cannot do anything. In that case, it is better to avoid upeksha. So Maitri, Karuna, so four situations: Sukha, Dukkha, Punya, Apunya. Somebody is doing very good or somebody is not doing good. Somebody is happy and somebody is in misery. And somebody is doing something very noble and somebody is doing ignoble things. So in four situations, what should be our attitude? Maitri, one should feel friendship if somebody is doing good. And if somebody is not doing good, then we should have feeling, suffering someone. Then we should have compassion. So this way, our mind will be settled. Mind will not be suffering. So in the case of mother also we find that she is so compassionate. If someone has come and who is suffering, immediately she would even cry with that person. And if someone is happy, doing good, she is very uh, friendly with that person. So this we find in the life of Holy Mother. So anyway, we'll go forward. David? Paul is not here today. Yes.
Oh, okay, Swami. Let me get the book.
Yes. So the situation here, mother is in Jairambati and a minstrel comes and he sings that ki anonder kotha umego, that oh Uma, what a blissful tiding that I hear, that you are now Annapurna in Varanasi. And before that, Shiva was a beggar, mere beggar. But when I offered you to Shiva, then now his days are changed, and they call my naked Shiva a madman. That before that, but
What
now
page
he,
are we on, Swami?
yes, yes. So this is that song we have completed, and then we go forward. 185. Please.
185. Okay. So right at the end of the song, the song
Yeah,
casts a
yeah, yeah.
spell.
Go ahead.
Okay. The song cast a spell on all of us who listened. Emotions rose high. Yogan Ma and Golat Ma asked him to sing that song again, and they gave him some money. Didn't the words bring a true picture of our own Holy Mother? Didi Ma said, well, in those days, people called my son-in-law a lunatic. They expressed their grief at Sarada's lot. How many abuses they hurled at me, too. There was no end to my silent agony. But today, see how many men and women from respectable families are looking upon Sarada as a goddess and worshipping her feet.
So this kind of song is sung before Durga Puja. In Bengal, people think that Mother Durga is their daughter, and she has come all the way from Himalaya to Bengal for 3 or 4 days. So they welcome Mother Durga. So that's called Agamani. Yes, go ahead.
During our stay at Jairamati, we visited Karmarpukur a number of times. While returning to Jairambati, we would bring jalepees and other sweets for mother from Karmarpukur.
Jalebi is one kind of sweet meat, like round, goes right like that. Yes.
Most of it, however, would be given to us during our refreshments, along with puffed rice mixed with ghee. The Jagadatri Puja was performed with great eclat. The image of Mother Jagadatri was beautiful. One felt that she really had come in flesh and blood to accept the offerings of her children.
Okay, one thing, Jagadhatri, it's a form of Mother Durga, Durga Puja. After that, about a month after that, again, Mother is worshipped as Jagadhatri. Jagadhatri meaning is who is holding the whole creation. So Jagat Dhatri. Jagat means world. Dhatri means the who has delivered and who is holding. So that is Jagat Dhatri. Yes.
Holy Mother herself would be seen standing near the place of worship with folded hands during arati, and sometimes fanning the goddess with a shamara. All the days she was intensely occupied with other women in arrangements for the puja and cooking. The worship continued for 3 days, and many hundreds were sumptuously fed every day. There was a yatra, a theatrical performance, on 2 nights, and many people of adjoining villages came to see the performance. After 3 days of worship, the immersion ceremony was a moving sight. Holy Mother and other women burst into tears. Days passed in supreme happiness. A couple of days after the puja,
Okay, one thing, the chamara is like yak tail that at the time of fanning, like they do like this, and also yatra is a theatrical performance, open air. So people sit around it, and then a plot is taken which is for the teachings of some say religious text, or they have some different kind of drama. Yes.
A couple of days after the puja, all 4 of us were suddenly attacked by malaria. In that small room, we lay in adjoining beds, shivering with high temperatures. Holy Mother's worries knew no bounds. She would stand at the threshold of the door and look at us with love and compassion. One could hear her exclaim, "Oh, what a pity! My sons are suffering so much. What a wretched, out-of-the-way village this is. It is hard to get any milk to prepare the sago." With a bowl in hand, Holy Mother would go to the villagers who had cows for a little milk. In those villages, the farmers paid more attention to the bullocks that cultivated the land and fed them more. The milk cows were neglected, so the output of milk was scanty. After collecting 1 or 2 cups of milk, Holy Mother would prepare our diet. However, we recovered after a few days and took our normal food. Because our long stay in Jairambati might cause additional physical strain on Mother, we decided...
One thing, like in villages, there are lots of mosquitoes are there, and here it's a cold country, you won't understand. There it is, mosquitoes come in thousands, and especially those days when the sanitation was not that good, so people used to suffer from malaria. It's a high fever, and some other signs are there. Yes.
We decided to return to Calcutta. Although she insisted that we stay longer, we somehow convinced her that we should return to Calcutta. The bullock carts were ready, and after lunch we boarded them. Devi Ma and the neighbors were present, and Holy Mother was standing in front of the back door of the house, silently watching the scene from a distance. Her face was puffy and reddish from the tears that rolled from her eyes. The carts moved on. Mother was following us. Repeatedly we implored her to return, but she would not listen. At last the carts passed by Talpukur, the southern border of the village, and entered the extensive meadow outside the village. As long as I could see from inside the cart, I watched Mother standing by the side of the pond with her eyes fixed on us.
Hmm. Didima means grandmother, so mother's mother, and so that was the way mother used to bid farewell to her children, her disciples. So she would go the outskirts of the village and would look at the devotees all the time. And that is the lingering memory also. The mother is standing there. And Virijananji Maharaj wrote this. Yes, go ahead.
The next section is Holy Mother Blesses Vivekananda. While in Madras in March and April of 1893, Vivekananda had a significant dream. He saw Ramakrishna walking into the ocean and beckoning him to follow. He also heard the command, go. Although Swamiji was now certain of his journey to the west, he felt it necessary to seek Holy Mother's permission. He wrote to Swami Saradananda, I have had a vision in which the Master told me to go to the west. My mind is quite disturbed. Please tell Holy Mother everything and let me know her opinion. Saradananda went to Holy Mother and read Swamiji's letter to her. Holy Mother did not respond immediately, but asked Saradananda to wait. After a couple of days, Holy Mother had a similar dream. She saw Ramakrishna walking over the ocean waves and asking Narendra to follow him. Then Holy Mother told Saradananda, please write to Naren that he should go to the west. Swamiji was overjoyed when he received Holy Mother's approval.
So why Swamiji was in Madras that time and before coming to the west, Chicago. Though Swamiji had that vision of Master in dream, but Swamiji wanted to have the permission and also the blessings of Holy Mother. Why? Because Shakti. Mother is Shakti. When Mother blesses, and when Swamiji was leaving Calcutta, then Vivekananda said that time that I'll return if I succeed. Then Mother said, no, why should you say like that? Then Swamiji corrected himself. He said, no, very soon I'll return with victory. So that time there was no plan to come to the west, but this happened later. That is why Swamiji wanted to have her blessings. Yes.
So Swami, with Holy Mother, Sri Ramakrishna would communicate to her in dreams?
Yeah, see, at 3-4 days, Mother waited. Why? Mother said this. This happened to Swami Sridharananji and Swami, another Swami, elderly Swami, Shantanandaji. So, Shantananji taught Sridharananji that when you are to get some divine communication, then what you need to do? You withdraw from the outer world, eat very little, and do japam or be inward. And after say 3-4 days, then only you'll get some divine command. So that my Holy Mother also used to practice to get commands from Sri Ramakrishna. Many times for Mother, Thakur was so, say like, his presence was so vivid and visible most of the time. Still Mother wanted to contemplate and wanted to communicate whatever she realized. That is why she waited for a few days. Yeah.
In his reminiscences of Swamiji, Kiran Chandra Datta included this story that Swami Turiyananda had shared with him. Swamiji was then in Madras, and his devotees were arranging to send him to America. In a vision, Swamiji saw the master motioning to him to go to the west, but he decided to get permission from Holy Mother before making his final decision. He did not know whether the mother was in Jairambati or Calcutta at that time, so he wrote to Sharat Maharaj and Alambazar Mat to forward his letter to Holy Mother. Sharat Maharaj forwarded the letter to Holy Mother, who was then in Jairambati. A few days later, Holy Mother said to her brother Kali, "Today Naren's letter will come. You go and pick it up from the mailman." Kali replied, "Today is not the mail delivery day." At that time, the mail was delivered once or twice a week, and the mailman would wait at a particular place to give someone the letters for Jairambati. The post office was in Anur, 3 or 4 miles away.
So it is not today. Today we immediately text. But that time it was very difficult. And number one, it is village, not well connected with the cities, and people would run with the letters. They would put on their shoulder and would run. That was the way they used to collect letters and also used to deliver letters. So that way, and not every day it was the letters were delivered.
As Holy Mother insisted, Kali went to the local mail station and found that the mailman was waiting with a single letter, which was addressed to Holy Mother. "Urgent" was written on the envelope. Amazed, he took the letter and returned to Jairambati. He told the mother, "Sister, you have a letter." She was cutting vegetables just then. She asked Kali, "Open the letter and read it to me." After listening to the letter, she said, "Bring some paper and pen and write to Naren. Certainly you should go to the West. This is the Master's work. This will do good to humanity." Shaman Sundari was sitting nearby repeating a mantra. She had heard everything and said, "Saru, where are you sending Naren? That country is beyond 7 oceans and 13 rivers." Holy Mother replied, "Last night the Master appeared to me and said, 'Tomorrow Naren's letter will come. This is the work of the Divine Mother. It will do good to humanity. Give him your permission to go.'"
At that time, it was really, in our boyhood also we have seen, like America is so far away, people are afraid, and those who would go for pilgrimage also, they would offer people food because it was not certain that they will return back. And Swamiji was coming to America, that also, more than 130 years. So at that time India also was very close. It was not open like now. So everybody was afraid where he is going, what will we do, and it is a foreign country. So lots of apprehensions were there. But in spite of everything, Mother permitted. And because she knew that it is for Divine Mother's work. Yes, go ahead.
It seems Holy Mother's letter to Swamiji was mailed to Sharat Maharaj in Alambazar Mat, and he sent it to Swamiji in Madras. The next section, Holy Mother returns to Belur. Holy Mother returned to Calcutta in July 1893. She stayed with Balaram's family for a few days, and then her devotees rented Nilambar Mukherjee's garden house at Belur for her. This house.
So there is a Ganga river. It is called Hooghly. So Alambazar is the other side, east bank of Ganga, and this is the west bank, and where now Math is also situated. Yes.
The same house where she had stayed in 1888. Holy Mother moved there with Yogan Ma, Golat Ma, and Swami Trigunatitananda, who became her attendant and ran errands. It was a very quiet place. Holy Mother spent most of her time there in worship, japa, and meditation. It is wonderful how the disciples of the Master sincerely and joyfully served Holy Mother. For example, Swami Trigunatitananda would pick flowers for Holy Mother to use in her morning worship. In the evening, he would spread a white cloth under the Shefalaika, a fragrant white flower tree, so that its blooms.
In India, lots of flowers you'll find is different from here, and it is a tropical country, so many kinds of flowers and flowering trees are available. This is a very tiny white and reddish flower, but very fragrant. I saw in Florida, in our ashrama there, we have that one. Yeah.
In the evening, he would spread a white cloth under the Shefalaika tree so that its blooms would not fall into the dust. It was probably in July or August of 1893 that Holy Mother performed the Panchatapa, or the austerity of 5 fires, on the roof of Nilambar's house. This severe austerity is observed by sitting for japa and meditation from dawn to dusk, surrounded by 4 fires and the blazing sun above. Swami, did Swami Trigunatitananda, so it was Yogananda, Trigunatitananda, and Saradananda who served Holy Mother? How long did Trigunatitananda serve her
Yeah,
for?
he also served. Saradananda Maharaj later. First Yogananda ji, then Trigunatitananda ji, and then Saradananda ji. Because Trigunatitananda ji came to California, so that's why after his departure, Saradananda ji Maharaj. Saradananda ji Maharaj was General Secretary, so he had many duties to perform. So in the beginning he was not there, but everybody took care of mother.
It may be remembered that when Holy Mother went to Varanasi after Ramakrishna passed away, her mind was grief-stricken. A woman ascetic of Nepal, who was an adept in various kinds of sadhana, advised Holy Mother to perform the Panchatapa to calm her mind. Holy Mother had also a couple of visions in Karmapur regarding the Panchatapa ceremony. Accordingly, Holy Mother decided to perform it.
So couple of visions, that because mother was so grief-stricken, to lessen that, she found she got the visions, couple of visions in Kamarpuku regarding the Panchatapa. Panchatapa means 4 sides will be heap of cow dung cakes and burning. So from 4 sides, and on the head there should be sun, the blazing sun. So that is like external heat so much. So that way it can be helpful to reduce the grief, the mental grief. Here we have that where she did that. There is a house. You can see that. And it is open space, and now that area is covered and barricaded. Here Ganga is also there, you can see Ganga. Name is Hooghly, because Ganga has got so many branches. You see, it is like this, like a tree. Tree has got many roots, and it is one tree, and then again there are so many branches. So in Himalaya also there are so many tributaries, and then they collected and all contribute to the Ganga, main Ganga. See Yamuna also there, Satluj, not Satluj, sorry, Ram Ganga, then Saryu, like that, Gomati, etc. So all collected, and then when it comes to the Bay of Bengal, it divides in so many branches. That's why delta is formed. Yes, go ahead.
Swami, we don't hear of the Ramakrishna Order Swamis doing such painful kinds of austerities, nor are they recommended for us. Is that, it seems,
Okay,
why
for us, we have different kind of austerities. To be in the West, that's a kind of austerity. You see, it's not that easy. Uh, Say if it is easy, you can come and stay here. You understand? In India, we don't eat the old food. Whatever it is eaten once, and then it is distributed. But here we have to eat the same food, say 7 days. But it doesn't matter. And so many other factors, which I should not mention because that's normal here. In India, see, not many people come and join as monks. So it's not, apparently it looks like that real, without worry. Yeah, we are without worry because mother is taking care of us.
we also don't get these things recommended? The heads of centers usually don't tell the devotees to do such painful.
Yeah, mother has done on your behalf. And mother does, for an example, to show the world as an example. Sri Ramakrishna did so much of tapasya. And what he said later, that I have cooked, now you come and eat. Everybody cannot cook. So they are happy to eat. So we are in that category. Sri Ramakrishna did so much. Just go through his life, you will understand. Yes, some monks, they prefer to go for tapasya. Tapasya means penance. They go empty-handed, without taking any money. And they circumambulate a great river called Narmada. It takes about 6, 7, 8 months to go up, they say a few thousand miles. That time, it happens that nothing is there, even there is no food, and you have to accept that. So some monks go there, but for us, we have been given the task of serving God in man. We run hospitals, schools, colleges, dispensaries in India. Here we serve our devotees in various ways. So this is a kind of, it's a kind of tapasya, you can say. Okay, go ahead.
A thick layer of earth was laid on the roof of Nilambar's house, and 4 blazing fires of dried cow dung cakes were lighted in the square, 7.5 feet apart from each other. Holy Mother recalled, sometime after the Master's passing away, I often had a vision of a bearded sannyasin who asked me to perform the Panchatapa ceremony. In the beginning, I didn't pay any heed of it, and moreover, I was unaware of what the Panchatapa was. But when the sannyasin insisted, I asked Yoganma about it. She said, well, Mother, I shall perform it with you. Arrangements were made for the Panchatapa ceremony at Nilambar Babu's house in Belur. Blazing fires of dried cow dung were lighted on 4 sides, and the scorching sun was overhead. After a morning bath in the Ganges, I approached the fire and found the flames up. I was seized with a great fear, and I wondered how could enter the area and remain there seated until sunset. After repeating the master's name, I entered the area surrounded by fires. It felt as if they had lost their heat. Thus I practiced this discipline for 7 days. As a result, my fair complexion became like black ashes. After that, I never saw that sannyasin anymore.
Yeah. So though apparently she was not suffering, but body was so exposed to the heat that she became black like ash. Hmm. Yes, go ahead.
Holy Mother related another vision regarding the Panchatapa practice. While I was in Karmapur, I saw with my physical eyes a girl about 11 or 12 years old like Radu. She wore an ochre cloth and rudraksha beads around her neck, and her hair was dry and shaggy. She accompanied me wherever I went. After I performed the Panchatapa ceremony at Nilambar Babu's house in Vellore, the girl disappeared. I never saw her again.
So all this vision, you know, other people may not be able to see, only mother would see. Like Sri Ramakrishna had Ramlala. Ramlala means baby Rama. And he used to take him for bath, feeding, etc. Other people would not see. Uh, they would see that Sri Ramakrishna is doing something with the small idol. But actually, he used to serve and feed and various, sometimes he would beat also Ramlala. Like when he is naughty and used to enter in the Ganga and Sri Ramakrishna was as mother, so would prevent, no, get out of it. But he would not listen. Then, okay, go ahead.
The external fire of the Panchatapa relieved the burning anguish within that Holy Mother had felt since the Master's passing, and she felt an inner peace. Years later, when a devotee asked her about the Panchatapa, she said, yes, it was necessary. Parvati, the Divine Mother, practiced the austerity to obtain Shiva as her husband. Then she added, I performed this austerity to set an example for others. Otherwise people would say, what is extraordinary about her? She eats, sleeps, and moves about like ordinary people. When an intimate disciple wanted to know the real reason that she went through this ordeal, she said, my child, I went through it for the sake of all of you. Can you practice austerities? This is why I had to do it.
Yeah, so that's the purpose. Like in India, monks have no house, like we live in a house. Even when direct disciples, they used to roam about. They had no set place to live. Many times it happened that they stayed under a tree. Even for Swamiji, Swami Vivekananda, Sharadananda Maharaj. Maybe they had only one set of clothes, one extra maybe. So, but nowadays we have so many. That's why, what happens in our monasteries. Some monks are there, they're minimalist. They'll give away all extra things. The extra thing means you have to maintain, you have to clean, you have to lots of things. Yes.
Holy Mother always felt the Master's presence wherever she lived. When she was in Nilambar's house in Vellore, she had a vision. It was a moonlit night. She was seated on the steps leading to the Ganges, looking at the full moon reflected in the waves of the sacred river. Suddenly, she saw Ramakrishna come from behind and proceed swiftly to the river. As soon as he touched the water, his body dissolved in it. Later, Holy Mother described this incident. I looked at the phenomenon with my mouth wide open in utter amazement. All of a sudden, Narayan also appeared. I don't know from where. Crying victory unto Ramakrishna, he took some water in his hands and began to sprinkle it upon innumerable men and women gathered around. Immediately, they attained liberation. This vision was imprinted on her mind so deeply that she could not bathe in the Ganges for some days. She said, "This Ganges is the body of the Master. How can I touch it with my feet?" This experience finally convinced her that Ramakrishna's physical death did not mean he had ceased to exist. He had been incarnated to fulfill a cosmic purpose, and she must also contribute her share to accomplish it.
Okay, so here, this is the place, this ghat. That means the place to take bath, to go in the Ganga. So what happened? Mother was sitting, and she saw in a vision that Sri Ramakrishna came. Vision means here he physically saw, she physically saw, and entered in Ganga, and he melted in Ganga. And then Swami Vivekananda came, Naren, that time, and started sprinkling that water to all directions. And people, those who got it, were liberated. What is the meaning? Meaning means teachings of Sri Ramakrishna is like water of Ganga. And Ganga water liberates human being. And Nivedita, the disciple of Swami Vivekananda, Margaret Noble, related that Swami Vivekananda drew strength from Guru, Gita and Ganga. Guru from his teacher, Guru Sri Ramakrishna, and also Gita, the scriptures. And Ganga, that means that all the tradition, the spiritual tradition. It's not simple thing, it is accumulated over the millenniums. And it is the fruit of the penance of rishis, the seers. So Ganga is not only physical Ganga is also there. It's called Brahma Bari. The Brahman melted as river. That's why Ganga is worshipped in India and venerated. So that Ganga liberates people. That's why people go and take bath in Ganga. So Sri Ramakrishna also is a representative of Ganga, Guru, and also his teachings are scriptures. There's a gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, so simple. Simple to understand but profound. And many things are mentioned there which are not present in our scriptures also. And simplified. That if you read the scriptures, it will be difficult to understand. But if you read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, those ideas are clear, crystal clear. So Sri Ramakrishna's teachings are liberating. That is why we should inculcate those teachings. Yes. Go ahead.
Holy Mother soon became the central figure for Ramakrishna's disciples and devotees. They came to her for solace and succor, and she treated them with great affection. Once Durga Charan Nag, known as Nag Maharshi, came to visit Holy Mother at Nilambar's house. He considered Ramakrishna to be God and Holy Mother to be the Divine Mother. Holy Mother described Nag Maharshi's exuberant devotion and how the Master's devotees respected her.
No, Nag Maharshi, you should read the life of Nag Maharshi, a great bhakta, devotee. On this Sunday, we'll have a function. So, in that, some devotees will read from the lives of various devotees and interaction with Sri Ramakrishna. So, Nag Maharshi was very prominent and very important devotee of Ramakrishna order. Yes.
What shall I say about Durga Charan? He looked upon me as the Divine Mother herself. He came to see me on Ekadashi. In those days, no men devotees were allowed in my presence. They used to bow down to me by touching their heads to the staircase. A maidservant used to announce the name of the visitor, saying, "So-and-so is saluting you, Mother," and I would send my blessings. On that day, the maid said, "Mother, who is Nag Maharshe? He is bowing down to you and hitting his head so hard it might bleed." Yogananda Maharaj is trying to persuade him to stop, but he does not say a word. He seems to be unconscious. Is he mad, Mother? I said, "Please ask Yogan to send him here." Yogan brought him to me. I saw that his forehead was swollen. Tears were trickling down his eyes, and his steps were unsteady. He could not see me because he was blinded by tears. I made him sit down. He was uttering only, "Mother, Mother," as if he were insane. Otherwise he was calm, composed, and balanced. I wiped away his tears with the upper corner of my cloth. He came when I had just sat down for my meal, luchis, sweets, and fruits. I ate a little of the food and then tried to feed him with the prasad, but it was hard for him to swallow the food. He had no outer consciousness. He remained seated, touching my feet with his hands, repeating, "Mother, Mother." My women companion said, "Mother, your meal is spoiled. Let Yogananda Maharaj take him downstairs." I said, "Wait, let him compose himself a little." I stroked his head and body and repeated the master's name, and after some time he regained external consciousness. Then I began to eat my meal and also to feed him. After his meal he was taken downstairs. While leaving he said to me, not I, but thou, thou." I told those who were near me, "Look how wise he is. He would do anything for me."
Yeah. So he was totally overwhelmed because of his devotion to Mother. And he was not even conscious of his outer circumstances. But when Mother pacified him, then only, and not I means naham, tuhu, thou art, but thou and thou. So it's a great, and he was a homeopathy doctor. But later he was totally, Girish Chandra Ghosh used to tell that Mahamaya could not bind two people. One is Swami Vivekananda because he is so huge that net is very small, so she could not bind Swami Vivekananda. Another is Nag Mahashaya because he was so tiny that he came out from that net. That means no worldliness in him. And Swamiji said that each one of disciples of Sri Ramakrishna was unique. And that's why we find Adbhutananda, then this Nag Mahashaya, all, even the householder devotees were so wonderful. Yes, go ahead.
On another occasion, Nag Maharshe came to me wearing a dirty and tattered cloth and carrying on his head a basket full of delicious mangoes from his own trees. He intended to sit by my side and feed me, but he said nothing. He roamed around holding the basket on his head. Jogan sent word, "Please tell Mother that Nag Maharshe has brought some mangoes. He will not say anything, nor will he give the basket to anyone. I asked for him to be sent to me." He came with the basket on his head, and the brahmachari took it from him. I had not yet finished the daily worship of the Master. He bowed down to me and became unconscious as before. He was repeating the Master's name, and also, "Mother, Mother." Tears were streaming from his eyes. Those mangoes were of excellent quality. Some were cut and offered to the Master. Yogan brought some of that prasad on a leaf plate to me. I took a little and asked Golab to bring another leaf plate. I then put some pieces of mango from my plate onto the other plate and said to him, "Please eat." Who could eat? He had no body consciousness and his hands were numb. I took hold of his hand and tried to persuade him to eat, but he couldn't. Instead, he took a piece of mango and began to rub it on his forehead. I sent word to the attendants, and they escorted him downstairs. He constantly bowed down on the floor, and his forehead got swollen. He didn't eat his meal. I heard that after some time he regained normal consciousness and left.
Once it happened, the prasad was given in a leaf plate, and he took prasad and also leaf plate also, because he was not uh, conscious of his outer environment. So like that, he is out of devotion. Yes.
Once Nag Maharshi visited Holy Mother at her residence on Sarkar Lane in Calcutta. The mother described his exuberant devotion. What wonderful devotion he had.
So it is called exuberant devotion, means Urjita Bhakti. Like Sri Ramakrishna had. Urjita Bhakti means so much of devotion that they are not aware of anything else. Urjita Bhakti, yes.
Look at this dry sal leaf plate. Could anyone eat it? But out of overwhelming devotion, he swallowed even the leaf plate because prasad had touched it. Ah, his eyes were full of devotion, slightly reddish and always moist with tears. His body was emaciated from severe austerities. When he came to see me, his body would tremble out of devotion, and it was hard for him to climb up the stairs. His steps would falter. I've never seen such devotion in anyone. Holy Mother once gave him a cloth, but Nag Maharshi never used it. On special occasions, he would tie it around his head. Sometimes he would say, "Mother is more gracious than Father."
Yeah. This is especially Babar che Ma Kripalu. So, mother is more gracious than father. It means Sri Ramakrishna. Mother is so gracious. Yes.
The next section is Holy Mother visits Bihar. Holy Mother stayed at Nilambar's house in Vellore from July to October 1893, and then went to Jairambati. Balaram's daughter Bhuban Mohini died in December 1893, and her mother Krishna Bhavani was sick with grief. The doctor suggested that she go to a health resort outside Calcutta. Accordingly, a house was rented at Kailwar on the bank of the Shoni River in Bihar, 8 miles east of Ara. Krishna Bhavani asked Holy Mother to accompany her, and she agreed. In late January 1894, Holy Mother, now 41, went to Balaram's house in Calcutta and asked them in the early part of February, and then in the early part of February left for Kailwar. The party consisted of Holy Mother, Krishna Bhavani, and her mother, Golatma, Yoganma, Swamis Yogananda, Saradananda, Trigunatitananda, and some cooks and servants. Holy Mother later recalled her stay in Kailwar. Once I spent a couple of months at Kailwar in the district of Ara. It is a very healthy place. Golap, Babaram's mother, Balaram's wife, and others were with me. The country abounded in deer. A herd of them roamed about, forming a triangle. But no sooner had we seen them than they fled like birds. I had never before seen anything run so swiftly. The master would say, musk develops in the navel of the deer. Being fascinated with its smell, the deer run hither and thither. They do not know where the fragrance comes from. Likewise, God dwells in the human body, and human beings do not know it. Therefore, they search for bliss everywhere, not knowing that it is already in them. God alone is real, and everything else is false.
Yeah. So, Bengal, it's a tropical country, and it is the humidity is too much humidity. So those who are sick, they change their environment. So they go to drier place. So Bihar was, and still it is inside the country. It is drier than Bengal, and that time lots of forests were there, and deers and other. Even nowadays, in many places, you can find tiger, deer, elephant, lion, um, lots of places. Um, the rhino, you name it and it is there in India. Leopard, like that. So many animals. That time it was more. Now it is rarefied, but they have some national uh, national parks. They are they are preserved. Yes.
After returning from Kailwar, Holy Mother left for Jairambati in April 1894 and then returned to Calcutta in August 1894, again staying with Balaram's family. Every afternoon, Yoganma, Golapma, Krishna Bhavani, Matangini, and the women devotees would gather around Holy Mother to hear stories of her childhood and her time with the Master. Those were glorious days. In 1894, Holy Mother attended the Janmashtami festival, the celebration of Krishna's birth, at Balaram's house. After that, Matangini wanted to worship Mother Durga in her country home at Antpur. She had invited Holy Mother to attend the festival, and she agreed. On Janmashtami Day, it was announced that Holy Mother would be going to Matangini's country home in Anpur to attend Durga Puja.
And that place is now our center. And it was not easy for Holy Mother to travel, and the whole retinue would go, and to manage everything. It was really difficult task. Anpur is now our center. It's about maybe 40 miles from Calcutta. That time it was difficult to go there. They would go by train and then bullock cart. Yeah. Okay.
Shortly before Durga Puja in 1894, Matangini left for Anpur with Holy Mother, Yoganma, Golapma, and Swamiji's disciple Swami Sadananda. Matangini's daughter, Krishna Bhavani, and son Shantiram also came. They went to Haripal by train and then by bullock cart to Antpur, but a palanquin was arranged for Holy Mother. In Antpur, Durga Puja was celebrated for 4 days with great eclat. Afterwards, Holy Mother left for Karmapur with Yoganma, Golapma, and Sadhananda. After staying a few days in Karmapur, they went to Jairambati. Holy Mother stayed there, and the others returned to Calcutta.
Have you seen palanquin? Okay, palanquin is like a wooden box, say about 4 feet, 5 feet, like that. People would go inside, and two sides like holding, so 4 people, they would take, and they'll make a sound, hun huna re, hun huna, hun huna re, hun huna. Like that. So that time there was no vehicles. So elderly or aristocrat or respected would go and travel from one place to another on that palanquin. And later, when I saw, like, new bride would come like that, would travel like that after marriage. Yes. So we'll stop here.
Swami, do they still have palanquins in India?
Yeah, just for show. In our Sangraha Mandir, that means museum in Belur Math, we have kept one. Because many people may not know, and especially foreigners. So to show them what is palanquin, it is kept like that. In West also, they had something like that, but they had a wheel. On that it would, like the box, say 4 feet by 5 feet or so, and then some support, and there'd be a wheel. So it would rest, and then 2-3 people or 4 people would carry that. So because of wheel, It is on the ground, but here it is totally above the ground. Okay, so we'll stop. Akshay, anything to ask?
Yes,
Please go ahead.
like the Atman is actionless and body is inert, so what does the actions?
Okay. न कर्तव्यम न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभु न कर्म फल संयोगम स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. Okay, you sleep in the night and you dream. In your dream, you roam about. Maybe you appear in your examination, because many times I also used to appear in examination, and then, oh, I have not prepared well, so what will happen? So I'm afraid. Or maybe a dog is chasing you and you are running. You are running, and all of a sudden you are awake. So who did this? Your body was inert, and you also were sleeping. So who did this? Ajnanena avritam jnanam tena muicyanti jantav. So Gita says that all this is happening, it is happening by itself, and we are thinking that it is happening. This is highest, like, we'll come back. As of now, what we see. Okay, now I'll give another example. You go to a movie theater, or maybe on your screen, or maybe on computer screen. So many things happen. Maybe fire, and people are burning, and you are seeing it. But is it anything happening? It's only screen. And how it is happening? Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Like something is effulgent, something is active. Say on your screen, what happens? Like this is screen. Say you are sitting in India, and your time is morning time. 8:30 or what is your time?
9.
9 o'clock in the morning, 9 a.m. And our time is about, our time is here, 8:36 p.m. previous day. But we are interacting. How it is happening? You are in future, I am in past. And also this screen that you are seeing me, or I am seeing you. What is happening? There are so many tiny points which are on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. So when it is on, then it is bright. And off, computer software people know that whatever impressions that is being taken, it is converted into digital. What are the digital? 00111000001111, like this, million times. But then it is retransformed so that you can see it. So actually what is happening? From Jnani's point of view, nothing is happening. From devotee's point of view, it's a leela, it's a play. So Bhagavan says, Sri Krishna says, na kartavyam, na karmani, lokasya srijati prabhu. Na karma phal sanyogam, svabhavastu pravartate. It is in nature, it is happening. Like your dream, you see it is happening, but actually it is not happening. Similarly, this, when we experience, we cannot say no. But actually after half an hour, you'll remember, oh, we had a class. We attended a class. So all this It happens and it does not happen. From Jnani's standpoint, it does not happen. It's all our imagination. From Bhakta's standpoint, it is like a leela, play. If you want to know rationally, actually it does not happen. This electricity, you think that it's moving, actually it's not moving. You tie a rope with a fixed point, and you move like this, up, down. But the rope will look like that it's moving forward. So, it will take time to understand. That also, it's difficult to hold it. When we experience, we cannot say that we are not experiencing. But as we move forward, that means no more we are experiencing. Say yesterday what happened. It was so vivid yesterday, but now it is memory. And what happened 1 year ago, you don't remember. So this is happening on our screen, as it were. So from that standpoint, it happens. But from Jnani's standpoint, it does not happen. Ajnanena avritam jnanam. Because of our ignorance, we think it is happening. It is covered by ignorance. And it happens. Like we are studying Vedanta Sara. There it is 24 cosmic principles. And it's evolution of that. Evolution of Prakriti. And it is being played. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So, it requires contemplation and meditation, and gradually you have to understand. This is, what I said, you may not comprehend totally now, but when you grow up gradually, think about it, and then you'll understand. So, from Jnani's standpoint, nothing happens. From Bhakta's standpoint, it is like a leela. Say like this divine play. It is to educate ourselves. Like you go to school and learn many things. Similarly, we are also in this spiritual school. And by studying the life of Holy Mother, life of Sri Ramakrishna or Swamiji or any great personage, we learn how they dealt with this world. That is why we are to emulate their behavior pattern. And in course of time, by the blessing of God, by your self-effort and blessings of Gurus, one day it will dawn unto you. Say, I am speaking, what is happening? I am uttering few words. Words have meanings. So, you are deciphering those words, understanding. So it is all in the system, how it happens. When you see a red rose, what is red in it? It looks like red, but it's only an impression that comes to your eyes. And then it goes to brain. Then brain interprets. So anyway, I don't want to confuse you anymore. So in course of time you'll understand. But keep this questioning. Keep this questioning. How this happens? If you have questions, you'll get answers. But if you don't question, how can you get answers? But it requires time, also contemplation, and the blessings of God, Gurus, scriptures, More is a self effort and self blessing. Atma Kripa. Very good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hmm. Keep this, keep on questioning. Very good. Thank you. Thank you all. We'll say prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tassat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Devotees don't want to think that it does not happen because they enjoy company of God. They enjoy company of devotees. But Jnani is like it has sword of knowledge. It cuts everything. Tut, tut. What we have to do? We have to keep whatever is required. And what is the capacity, that also we have to understand. Asanga shastrena dridhena chitva. That's why, monks, some monks like that. A monk came to Dakshineshwar. He would not look at people. He would look at the sky. So that he's infatuated. But you may think that he's eccentric. For us, we have to be normal like normal people, but our thinking should be high. So that we should not forget our real nature. And in course of time, you'll find you are one with your chosen ideal. Thank you.
Thank
Namaste, namaste.
Pranam Swamiji.
Namaste.
Pranam. Pranam.
Namaste.
Pranam Maharaj.
Namaste, namaste.
you.